Hello, and to those of you joining for the first time, welcome to my ongoing quest to undercomplicate the overcomplicated. This is mission 1.6 and the all-in-one badge. The all-in-one badge is actually comprised of obtaining 4 separate badges all in a singular run, including no repair, don't repair your Espire unit, which won't be much of a problem because our next badge is no combat, do not engage in combat, which we shouldn't be doing anyways because our following badge is ghost, do not be seen. Finally, this is followed up by the one thing that makes it all a little bit harder, pacifist, do not kill anyone. Stealth is going to be very important here, and we can't kill guards, but we can knock them out. A knocked out guard will trigger an alert after they wake up, which is going to make sneaking a whole lot harder. And if a conscious guard discovers an unconscious guard, they will wake them up as well. Unconscious guards also wake up on their own after about 5 to 10 minutes. For the all-in-one badge, the best plan of attack is to be cautious and take it as slow as you need to make sure you go unseen, until such point as you feel like you need to knock out an enemy to proceed. After you've knocked out the first enemy, we're going to have to move a bit faster and try and complete the mission before they wake up. This also means you don't have to hesitate on knocking out enemies after that point, so when we become faster, we're also going to become a little bit more trigger happy. Mission 1.6 is the most complex of the story missions and is going to require a somewhat complicated all-in-one run. Part of the setup for this is to have already completed mission 1.6 and unlocked the M9 tranquilizer pistol so that you can pick it up from the weapons rack at the start. I swapped positions with the M9 tranquilizer pistol and the 92 FS green silenced pistol that you start with to make sure that the tranquilizer pistol is on my dominant hand. Here we take a route very cautiously around the outside of this bay so that we can climb up to the walkway and use this pillar here at the very end as cover. Make sure to keep an eye on the location of the drones so that you don't get spotted as you go through this section. Making ample use of cover, we're going to go down the hallway and then through to the right as we take our 92 FS green pistol and shoot the breaker behind the fan. We are going to leave the room with the extra Espire unit alone for the time being, as we're going to have need of it later. After a brief amount of movement lock, we are going to climb up to the walkway above and stay to the right here so as not to get spotted by the guard until we make it to the end of this walkway and go through the vent. After we get through the vent, we are going to stay on top of the catwalk and make our way along to the larger basement area so that we can find the level 3 pass card. This is going to be in one of 3 randomized locations, and I'll make sure to do a full separate breakdown video on how to easily get all 3 of them. Finally, climbing back up to the top here, we're going to make our way back the direction we came, going back along the walkway. Watch out for this patrolling guard at the end of the hallway, and we're going to drop to the right, keeping an eye on the guard at the end as well, and going back down through this vent. Finally, that patrolling guard is going to be around the bottom here, so make sure you wait until he's going the other way before proceeding through the airlock. Once through the airlock, we're going to use our hand cam to keep an eye at the top of the walkway so that we can spot guards without being spotted ourselves. Climbing up to these beams, we're going to zigzag our way across them until we get to the end here, and at the end we are going to grab the wall and climb up, grabbing a hold of the protruding overhanging portion of the ceiling to make our way along it over top of the guard and around this inlet. We are going to continue climbing around the top section until we've finally made our way back over top of the original walkway we were on. Once we get to this corner here, it should be fairly easy to drop down to the walkway and, avoiding the camera at the end of the hallway, go through the airlock towards the hangar bay. Watching the guard at the top of the stairs, we're going to use a burst of Espire Instinct to throw ourselves up and then change direction to forward to make it to these stairs without being seen. Taking the door to the right, we're going to be cautious of the patrolling guards on the other side of these boxes, and once it's clear, we're going to go to the end and climb up on top of these containers. This front right corner here ensures that we won't get spotted, and we can take our time to leisurely throw a hand cam onto the helicopter with the use of Espire Instinct to further propel the camera. Watching for the guards again, we're going to go back through the same door we came in. However, as soon as we get out this door, we're going to go immediately to our left and climb up top and grab the ceiling so that the patrolling guards won't see us as we make our way along this top section here and back to in front of the entrance, double checking to make sure that neither of the central patrolling guards are going to spot us as we go back through the airlock. Once through the airlock, we're going to grab the section to our right and drop down, slowly patrolling to our left, and once it's clear to climb up, we're going to climb to this upper walkway. There's an invisible guard at the end of this hall that you can spot with Espire Vision, and we're going to wait until the second guard comes down as well, so that we can pop out behind him without being seen by either patrolling guard and move on to the last section, which is the hostages. We're going to go to the immediate right through the air vents here, taking advantage of a slight flaw in the game. As we come through this top section, nobody in the upper section of this area will have spawned yet, allowing us to quietly make our way back down. Coming through this door, we'll get a clear shot at one hostage taker and then another guard, both of whom should be fairly easy for you to tranquilize. Then we come back and stay to the left corner to electrocute the heavy armored guard and hide the body. Snaking to the end, we are going to wind our way between some tables to come up behind a patrolling guard, and then come back halfway through the room, throwing our hand cam and using the sound device to draw the attention of one of the remaining guards. From here, you can take him out, and we're going to go back through this central section here so that we can get the drop on the last patrolling guard, using Espire Vision to know when he's got his back turned to us. We're going to take this brief window of opportunity to knock him out and then immediately take care of the last hostage taker on the first floor. Coming back up to the second floor, we're going to immediately use Espire Instinct to take out the patrolling guard once he's out of the line of sight of everybody else, take out the next guard, and double back to the corner, staying close to the wall so as to not get spotted as we climb up top. Here we're going to take a long shot to take the guard in the hallway, and then grab the bodies and hide them so that there's no chance that anybody is going to see them as we get other guards to move around. Next, we're going to go halfway up the room to the right here and climb on top of both this portion of the servers and then on top of the scaffolding so that we can throw our hand cam to the left and lure the guard on our right out of the line of sight of the other two. Once this guard is neutralized, we're going to go back to the left and on top, climbing along the scaffolding at the top to go over top of the two guards in this section so we can get the drop quite literally on the heavily armored guard. Finally, after knocking out the hostage taker, we're going to take this hallway door to our left and make sure that we see the guard and wait for his patrol cycle to give us the opportunity to sneak up on him. We're going to do the same thing with the guard through this next doorway here, making sure that we use a moment where his patrol cycle does not intersect with the patrolling guard at the very end of this series of rooms, who doubles back to the long hallway. Speaking of the longer hallway, we're going to go up to this catwalk and make our way along. We can use the distraction module in our hand cam to draw his attention and knock him out. Then we're going to want to hide his body, as we're going to draw another guard out into this hallway. At the end of this catwalk, as we stick to the right, we're going to pop a hand cam down by the door and draw the last guard, who's not a hostage taker, out of that room, knocking him out so we can double back and not have any additional complications as we deal with the last 3 hostage takers. Going down the stairs, we can climb this pillar to the right and using one hand get a clear shot off on the guard who's in the alcove here. Then using the side wall, we're going to pull ourselves up onto the table, stand up, and in a burst of instinct, take out the last 2 guards who are monitoring hostages. Finally, we're going to possess the Espire unit that we didn't possess earlier, so we don't have to worry about being seen as we exit the hostage area. Instead, going through the airlocks back to the main section. As you can see, there's going to be a guard on our left here, and it's quite easy to take him out. Then we're going to go slightly to the right and drop down, climbing up the first corner edge here. We're going to make our way along the hallway, and at the end of the hallway on our left, we're going to climb the support column back up to the scaffolding level. This time, however, we're taking the scaffolding over this little inlet here and dropping down from that to the catwalk slightly below, above the lounge area. Now we're going to work on our vent repair technician certification as we climb through a series of vents. Following them should lead us to this section we can drop down and open up the main area by hitting the dial and switch. Then you're going to want to climb straight back into the vent and make your way along to the final section of the vent that you haven't used. And here we're going to open the end, make sure the guard isn't going to see us, and then weave our way between these tables to make sure that we have the maximum amount of cover so that we can sneak past all of the heavily armored guards in this area and make our way up to our somewhat anticlimactic final confrontation. Grabbing a hold of this support portion here, we're going to climb up the walkway, and as soon as we're over, we're going to grab the card right from skill, bypassing the fight, creeping straight over to hit the button, and finally get the last all-in-one badge set for the Espire 1 story.
What the? What's happening? Agent, report.
Oh, Jesus. Marionette system disconnected. Mary's getting nothing. We've lost control.
No, this can't be happening.
Farewell, farewell.